So today we are talking about something that's kind of, it just popped up in my heart to talk about it. So I'm talking about it, and it is sex. It's my favorite subject, as you know. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're good, hope you're well. Yes, welcome back. So, I don't know why I'm laughing. We're talking about sex and body image. I don't know why I almost whispered. We're talking about sex and body image, and how body image affects sex, and how sex affects body image. The reason why it was on my mind is because I just thought back to, what was I thinking about? First of all, I was thinking about my own self and how I feel about my body. You guys have not, I've shared like some of my insecurities and blah, 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 and they haven't gone away completely, but I've shared them with you before. I've also talked about sex in marriage because I waited till I was married, etc. So those two subjects I've talked about, but I haven't really spoken about them together. And I was thinking earlier about how back before I was having sex, when I was single, I did actually think about this a lot. I used to think like, like Adella, you really are not really feeling your body like that. So like, how are you gonna show your body to someone else? Because how's that gonna work? So I used to think about that quite a lot. And then I realized actually how little it actually affected sex in real life when it came to it. So this is actually more of an encouragement, because I thought I'm not the only one with body insecurities. I'm sure a lot of us have them, unfortunately. And some of you might also be thinking the same things I was thinking, or do think sometimes, about body image and how it might relate to sex if you are having it, if you're not having it, and you're thinking about the future. So that's why I've decided to make this video. So like I said, it's a bit more of an encouragement. I am going to talk a little bit about how it's affected me, maybe not so positively, but overall it's good. It's good, so stay to the end. So I think the one negative thing about it, about having a negative image of your body, I'm speaking for myself, by the way, because I know that there are probably people out there, unfortunately, who maybe this affects their sex life way more than it does for me. So I'm just speaking from my perspective and trying to encourage you from that, not saying this is going to be the way everyone feels. Yeah, I'd say the one negative for me is that I think a bad relationship with your body and body image can affect, or does affect, confidence overall. And so naturally that confidence might seep into your sex life, because I mean, it's very physical, right? And it's all about your body, pretty much. Not all about your body, but all right, so I think that is the one negative, is that when it comes to sex now, my confidence in it, or lack thereof sometimes in some situations, it can be heightened by or caused by body insecurities. And what I mean by this is rejection, for example. My husband is well within his right to reject sex, as am I, because, you know, if you don't want to have it, you don't want to have it. But rather than taking that as just like, no, okay, cool, later, I think that can add to a blow in my confidence. And occasionally the thought can slip that like, oh, I'm not attractive, or if I was this, then maybe like, you know, you would say no, which is obviously dumb. As I say, I'm realizing like, come on. But unfortunately that is what happens. And then I'd say it can affect your confidence, even aside from rejection, just like maybe your confidence to initiate sex, or your confidence in terms of feeling sexy, can be affected when you have body hang-ups or insecure about some things about your body. That makes sense? I think that's a given. I think that's kind of like, I'm sure no one's shocked by that, because yeah. However, the encouragement comes in when I tell you, and I feel like I'm not the only one that thinks this. I'm pretty sure I've heard people say this before, so it's not just me, right? And this comes from women of all shapes and sizes, however they look, right? Because I do also understand that sometimes people look at me and think, oh, why don't you have body insecurities? And it's like, because I'm doing it. So I think that the point I'm trying to make, that I've heard other women make, other people, other men as well make, is that those insecurities literally melt away. As in, it's almost like you're under a spell and you forget, and then afterwards you're thinking, wow, look at my belly just hanging out. I didn't even notice. And I think that's a beautiful thing about sex. I feel like it's almost magical. It sounds so dumb, but anyways, it's almost magical in that, like, literally that day I could have looked in the mirror and thought, oh, long. Oh, I don't like this. And then when you're actually being intimate with someone, it's like you forget. Like, sorry if this is TMI, but I actually remember thinking during the act, thinking, rah, like I just forgot that this is like something that I'm usually insecure about. Like, it's just there. My belly's just there hanging. I didn't even notice. And I just clocked during the act, and it's just weird. I don't know how to explain it. If you're having sex and you get what I'm saying, comment down below, because I'm sure I'm not the only one. Especially if you're having sex with the right person, or if just sex in general and the way it makes you feel, and it's quite a euphoric, magical kind of thing. You almost turn into someone else. Like you become this really confident person, and doesn't mean you can't be shy or timid, but like the act of it, I would argue, especially with someone doing it with someone that you love and someone that you trust, it really does make those body insecurities disappear. It's just not your focus in that moment. Again, speaking for myself, because hopefully, I don't know, there might be people who it really does hinder them in the moment. But yeah, that's my experience of it in when it comes to body hang-ups. Another thing that I think is like more of a reality than what's going on in your head is the fact that your partner is having sex with you is like, hello, duh. Obviously, your body hang-ups are not noticed by them, which I would argue is probably where a lot of body hang-ups come from, because if everybody in the world was blind, nobody would have, or I assume nobody would have body image issues. So it is unfortunately related to how we think other people are seeing us to an extent. And if you are having sex with someone, and in my case with my husband, I can make a pretty educated guess that he's all right. He's all right with the way I look. Otherwise, what are you doing, honey? What are you doing here? Get out of my bed. That's like one of the things you kind of have to remind yourself. And I think Keith reminded me of that once, where he's like, Adella, not in a shallow way, but like, he's like, I'm gonna marry, like, I get one wife, I'm gonna marry someone ugly or someone who I'm not attracted to. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point. So I kind of put that one to rest. And I just think, although we shouldn't obviously, our confidence shouldn't necessarily have to come from someone else. I think, you know, it helps, especially if it's your partner. Why not let them give you that confidence boost, and just remember that they are not, trust me, when you're lying naked with someone, they're not thinking, oh wow, what was a beautiful love of my life, but those titties though, they're ugly. They're not thinking that. Same way you wouldn't be thinking of all their hang-ups like in the moment. It's just not how it works. If it is, then get out of that relationship, please. It's just the reality of the fact that in your head you might be thinking one thing, but come on, use your brain. The other person is obviously not thinking that thing. Otherwise, why are they aroused by you? Why are they having sex with you? Think about it. Another thing, yeah, is that I've kind of touched on it in the first bit, but you literally feel more attractive. I don't know how to explain it, but like, this is not me encouraging you out here if you've got insecurity to go find someone to have sex so you can feel attractive. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying, obviously. But what I'm saying is, scientists, anyone in that watches my videos a scientist? Give me the science. I'm sure there's science behind it, but like, you literally feel more attractive when you're having sex. Like, more, even, I would even say delusionally so. Like, you feel even more attractive than maybe reality, because I don't know if anyone's ever caught a glimpse of themselves. TMI. But if you ever catch a glimpse of yourself, you're thinking, raw, that's not how I look in my head. Because in your head, you're like this goddess of love, and you're just beautiful, and you're floating, and everything is just And so that feeling actually definitely contradicts the feeling that you might be feeling in a normal state, when you're not drunk on love, when you're sober, of how you see yourself. And so if you are apprehensive about when the time comes, I would say actually no, look forward to it in a sense of, nah, you're gonna feel fun. You're gonna feel like a bad B. And the B stands for BAM! And what I would actually say is, like, I think I've tried to do it a few times where, like I said, in the moment you're feeling like 10-10, yeah, no one can tell me nothing, I'm sexy, I'm buff in the moment, and really try to dwell on that feeling afterwards when the high has come down, you're no longer drunk on cigs. Really try to remember that feeling, because there's a few times where I was like, what? Me? I'm sexy, fam. Because did you see me about an hour ago? And I really try to dwell on that feeling of like, yeah, that beautiful feeling that it gives you. of feeling like the most confident person, of feeling like you can do whatever, feeling like nobody can tell you nothing, feeling like you're a buff. Yeah, try to remember that, because it was real. As much as obviously you were in a state of whatever, it was still real and you still felt a way. And the person you're having sex with probably actually does see you in that light, in that moment or after or before, whatever. So yeah, really try to dwell on that euphoric feeling, because otherwise we sometimes do the opposite. We dwell on the time when we really felt like we looked yucky, and we live through that even when we're not looking yucky. So yeah, that would be my advice. All in all, it's just a short bit of encouragement to say, I would say overall, when it comes to the reality of sex, the negative view of your physical body in reality doesn't affect you as much as you might think it does, from my experience. Hope that was helpful. Let me know if you've got any thoughts or questions down below. And if your experience is different, let me know as well, like down below. Let me know any advice in terms of being more confident in general. We'd love to hear. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.